How do you make £100,000 in just 2 months playing rugby? That's the guaranteed amount each player will receive for joining the British and Irish Lions on their 2025 tour of Australia. It's a staggering sum in sport, where such earnings are typically reserved for a handful of top-tier athletes over the course of an entire season. And that's not all. They'll also get a share of the tour's profits, which are projected to exceed £10 million. This isn't a club, it's not even a national team. The Lions are a temporary composite squad made up of players from 4 different nations, yet they've become one of the most successful commercial rugby brands in the world. How is that even possible? Welcome to Champagne Rugby, and this is the story of the insane business of the Lions.
At Heathrow, it's welcome home to the British Lions rugby team, back from South Africa after the most successful tour in their history.
The British and Irish Lions began in 1888 when a 21-man team made up of players from England, Scotland and Wales toured Australia and New Zealand. Though that first tour wasn't officially sanctioned by rugby's governing bodies, it laid the foundation for what would become a powerful sporting tradition, a touring side from the Northern Hemisphere taking on the best of the South. Ireland's players joined early on, but it wasn't until 2001 that Irish was formally added to the team's name. For most of its history, the Lions scheduled tours at irregular intervals. However, that changed in the aftermath of the inaugural Rugby World Cup in 1987. With the international calendar becoming more structured, the Lions settled into a consistent rhythm of touring every 4 years, beginning with their 1989 trip to Australia. Rugby's professional era began in 1995, ushering in a wave of commercialisation. By 1997, the Lions had secured their first major sponsor. Since then, on-field success and the allure of a best-of-the-best team have allowed them to command massive sponsorship deals and a loyal following from across the rugby world. Unlike other rugby entities, the Lions aren't a club, and they're not a national team. Instead, they function as a touring side jointly owned by the 4 home nations: England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. The Lions are managed through a special purpose vehicle, Lions DAC, Designated Activity Company, tasked with organising every aspect of their operations, from selecting players to planning tours and negotiating broadcast rights. This collaborative model enables the Lions to pool the resources and audiences of all 4 nations while preserving their unique identity as a touring side. It also ensures that profits are equitably distributed and reinvested into rugby development across all participating nations. The Lions' ability to generate enormous revenue in such a short span boils down to an efficient, multi-pronged commercial strategy. First up, sponsorships. Sponsorships are their biggest source of income, accounting for around 70% of total revenue. The team partners with a mix of principal sponsors, official partners and suppliers. These deals are highly lucrative. Shirt sponsorship alone is estimated to be worth £5 to £7 million per tour cycle. For the 2025 tour, insurance firm Howden holds that prime real estate, and with additional sponsors like TikTok on board, the Lions are extending their reach to younger and more global audiences. Broadcast rights form the second pillar of revenue. Sky Sports holds exclusive UK television rights, while 9 Network handles coverage in Australia. Audio broadcasts are secured through TalkSport. These media deals not only provide consistent income but also ensure broad visibility across both hemispheres. Ticket sales and tour packages are another major source of revenue. With the scarcity of Lions tours just once every 4 years, demand remains consistently high. The 2025 tour has already exceeded 500,000 ticket sales. In addition to general ticket sales, Lions Rugby Travel, an in-house operator, offers travel and hospitality packages. These include premium experiences bundled with accommodation and match access, bringing in millions in revenue. Exhibition matches also boost their balance sheet. The Lions' 2025 warm-up match against Argentina in Dublin, for instance, is projected to generate €4 to €5 million in profit. These matches not only prepare the squad, but also provide valuable revenue in a non-tour location. Merchandise and licensing round out the picture. Official Lions jerseys typically retail for £70 to £99 and are produced in limited runs every 4 years. In 2009, Adidas reportedly paid £2 million for kit licensing rights. These limited edition kits, along with accessories and memorabilia, fly off the shelves with each new tour. Financially, the Lions are trending upward. In 2017, they reported profits in the range of £7 to £8 million. By 2021, despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic and playing behind closed doors, they still managed to turn around a £9.6 million profit. The 2025 tour is expected to push the envelope further, generating over £10 million in profit and around £200 million in total economic activity when factoring in tourism, hospitality and secondary spending. This financial success is shared. Profits are distributed between the 4 home nations and the host nation, Australia, in 2025. These funds go towards grassroots development, infrastructure and women's rugby. A portion is also retained by Lions DAC to fund day-to-day operations and support new ventures, such as the inaugural Women's Lions Tour scheduled for 2027 in New Zealand. One of the most forward-thinking changes in recent years has been the introduction of a profit-sharing agreement with players. In 2025, each player is guaranteed a flat fee of £100,000, up from £80,000 in 2017. This alone makes Lions participation one of the most lucrative short-term opportunities in rugby. But there's more. Players will also receive a share of post-tour profits. This model treats them not just as athletes, but as stakeholders in the commercial success of the tour. If profits exceed expectations, as they're expected to, players could earn significantly more. This new model also aligns incentives across the board. Clubs who release players stand to benefit financially. Leinster, for example, could earn over £1 million for supplying multiple players. This reduces friction and increases buy-in from all parts of the rugby ecosystem.
In the past, it was a flat fee. So there was just a sort of an amount that went from the Lions to the player. We also paid an amount to the club who owned the contract to the player for player release, right? Now, again, go back to how we've changed the model. My view was that was a little bit transactional, certainly in relation to our relationship with the club, slightly less so the players. We were trying to secure player release, but we'd often be in an arm wrestle with the clubs about how long we can get the players for. And I think we maybe lost sight, this is in the past, of the importance of the clubs, given that they have invested significant sums, time, energy, resource into developing the players. So we've completely changed the model, and it's now all based on partnership. So we have a partnership with our 4 shareholder unions, clearly, and they get paid a dividend post-tour. We also now have a very similar relationship with the leagues and the clubs who own the contracts to the players and the players themselves. So everybody gets paid according to profit share, right? And the idea is that every part of the professional ecosystem is now incentivized to support the Lions Tour.
So why does this work? What makes the Lions so appealing? It comes down to the uniqueness of the concept. The Lions represent a rare sporting fusion, the best players from 4 rival nations coming together to face the giants of the Southern Hemisphere. For fans, it's a chance to see players like Maro, Itoje and Finn Russell wearing the same jersey. For brands, the Lions embody prestige, tradition and excellence. And for the players, it's the pinnacle of their professional careers, not just athletically, but financially. In a time when sports teams compete for year-round attention and constant content, the Lions have thrived by being different. Their scarcity is their strength. Touring just once every 4 years, they generate anticipation, nostalgia, and loyalty on a level few other teams can match. The British and Irish Lions are more than a rugby team. They're a blueprint for how tradition, cooperation, and smart business can come together to create something extraordinary. In just a few weeks, they generate revenues and profits that rival full season operations in other sports, and they do so while enriching the game. If you found this breakdown insightful and want to explore more behind the scenes rugby business stories, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below on which rugby team you'd like us to break down next, And as always, thank you for watching Champagne Rugby.